Hello everybody, John Brown here with Jab Bassin. It's fall here in West Virginia. We're getting late in November. The fishing has slowed down a little, but you can still catch them on a crankbait. If you stay tuned after the footage, I'll go over a few that are my favorites. Come on. Oh, that's a nice smallmouth. That's what we're looking for right there. Yeah. "19 inches. That's off one of the crankbaits that I sell. And according to the ruler, should be about 4 pounds. Look at that, Brian. Like I said, it's one of the crankbaits that I sell. Yep. Nice little small mouth. "15 inches. Unfortunately, I caught it on a crankbait that Cabela's no longer sells since Bass Pro Shops bought them. 16 inches. Still on the same crankbait that I sell. This time of year, you want something with a tighter wobble, and all through the winter. One of my favorites is one of the crankbaits that I sell, which you'll see in the video I caught the 4-pounder off of. This will go about 14 feet. You can crank it fast, you can crank it slow, and even in the cold water, they will bite it. I've got it in this color, the one without the red face, pink with the black face and the bright eyes. I've done real well with this in the middle of January. This is the last one I have in the yellow with the red on the back. And then this one is a pink back crappie, and it's the last one I have of it. Along with that, a good one. It's like the 110+1, and I prefer the shad color because that's what everything in the New River stream has, but I've noticed it even works in places without it. Very good size crankbait, 110 millimeters, or jerkbait. This one's the 110, and the short have several different colors of it. And very good jerkbait. We've got one size that's a little bit bigger in places like Lake Moomaw in Virginia or something like that that has trout. And again, it has the same bill as the smaller one. For other brands that I don't sell, you have ones like this that dive to 18 feet, and this is a tactical Bassin crankbait that they just came out with last year, I believe it was. And it dives to about 18 feet, very similar in the swimming action. They have several different colors. Sorry about that. The red crawl. Some minnow shad collars. I don't have all of them, but I do have a few. And then the one overlooked that a lot of people I've heard, they'll say that they can't catch anything off of these, is the DTs. And Rapala, these also have a nice tight wobble. And when I really like using this, like this one's a DT10, is when you're wanting something a little bit quiet. These have no rattles. And sometimes that's what it takes, especially if the water is ultra clear. And it doesn't seem to matter as much on the color of these. I mean, some colors do better than others at times, but most of them have been really good at different times. Like I say, they have a tight wobble, no rattle. They're really good baits. And other than that, the closest to finesse I like to do anyway, other than a jig. Normally I don't show this to people because around here people don't use them in lakes. They just use them in the river. And that's this scrounger head. And one of the mistakes that people will make when they do it is they'll get a tail that has action. You don't want a tail that moves on its own, because this thing is going to work like a bill on a crankbait. It'll rock, it'll shake, and you want to put it on a bait that has no action by itself, like the fluke tail. Some of them you can find that are just a knob on the end, things like that. You want to keep it simple, get the right size tail to go with the right size head, and these things work wonderful. I even like using them in the summertime around, if you have a tree laying over or something, you don't really want to bounce it through it, but swim it around it, and they'll come out a lot of times to hit it. It's a wonderful finesse bait if you are a crankbait fisherman. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up below and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to see some other content, please leave comments. Let me know. I'm always looking for ways to improve things. Also, if you're interested in any of my crankbaits, jerkbaits, I'll leave links below to Marketplace, or you can visit me on Facebook on Jab Custom Baits. And I'd like to give a special shout out to my cousin Kiara. I've heard she's been watching. Hugs and kisses, little girl. Y'all have a good one.